Hi, what if I told you that a 100 and billion AI company just launched a program that pays you a full time salary of $85,000 a year just to learn how to use their AI and help nonprofits with it? It is not a coding boot camp. You don't need any kind of computer science degrees. You don't need any prior knowledge of AI. This is Claude Corps and Anthropic, the company behind Claude. They just committed a whooping 150 million to fund this program. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what it is, who qualifies, what you will actually be doing, how much you will get paid, and how you can actually apply before the deadline. Let's get started. So, what exactly is Claude Corps? Claude Corps is a brand new national fellowship program from Anthropic. The idea is quite simple because they know that AI is about to change the job market in a big way. And so, Anthropic says the companies that are building this technology have a responsibility to make sure regular people, especially people early in their careers, actually benefit from it instead of getting left behind. So instead of just releasing another model and hoping for the best, they build a jobs program around it, which for me is a very amazing idea. So, how is the Cloud Corp structured? Let me tell you in one sentence. Anthropic will train 1,000 fellows to use Claude. They will then place them inside non-profits across the country, and then they will pay them in full salary for a full year to help those organizations actually put AI to work. And it's not just a side project, it's a three-way partnership. Number one, Anthropic funds it and provides Claude, expertise, code path, official employer, and runs the day-to-day training. And then social finance handles measurement, evaluation, and building out the long-term funding model. So it's a kind of three-way partnership. As I said, Anthropic will do the funding and also provide the expertise that comes with how to use Claude, while CodePath, which is the largest provider of collegiate computer science education in the country. So that's how it's a combination of these three companies that are going to bring about the establishment of this program. So now let's now talk about the money because I know this is what a lot of you have been waiting for. What are you going to be paid? If you are accepted as a Claude Corps fellow, this is what is on the table. You have a full-time salary of 85,000 per year plus benefits. Divide that by 12, you know what that comes to a month. You have an expansive Claude token budget, meaning that you get real hands-on access to use Claude extensively. Not just a trial account. You're going to use Claude for the whole year extensively. Everything that has to do with Claude. Then you're going to have a dedicated mentor from CodePath, and you're going to have a weekly office hours with Anthropic for technical questions. And on top of that, you're going to have direct professional guidance from a manager at your own host organization. I'm going to be talking about the host organization soon. So this fellowship program will run for 12 months. and it's full time. And it is an in-person thing. It's not an online thing. You have to be there in person. You're not going to be doing this from the comfort of your house. You have to relocate to where your host non-profit is. And relocation support is also available if you actually need it. I mean, this is just an amazing offer. Structurally, this is what your week will look like. You have 5 hours of ongoing structured training every week, and the rest of your time is spent embedded at your host organization, actually doing what you have learned. Things like automations, think like that, like creating data tools, creating AI powered systems that solve real life problems for that non-profit organization. So it is not an internship where you're going to drink coffee or sit down and they'll be sending you to do one or two things. You're going to get paid nearly six figures to become genuinely skilled at applied AI with a safety net of mentorship the entire time, you know. So who qualifies for this? Is this actually for you? Let's go through who actually qualifies for this. Now, this is where it gets interesting because the bar is lower than you think, really. Anthropic says anyone over 18 with under 2 years of full-time work experience. Under 2 years of full-time work experience. What I do not know by this is it that if you have more than 2 years of work experience, you're not eligible to apply? That's what they did not state here. By the end of this video, I'm going to put the link below this video so you can just go straight by yourself and read through the requirements, because when I read it through and I saw this under 2 years of full-time work experience, I didn't understand. Is it that those that have more than 2 years, we have 5, 6, 10 years, you cannot apply? I don't know. But one thing I knew was that regardless of the educational background, so it really doesn't matter what your educational background is. That means you do not need to be a computer science degree holder. You do not need to have a previous programming experience. You do not need to know any kind of formal AI experience and all that. But what you do need is quite simple. Number one, you must be authorized to work in the US. And I know this cuts off a lot of people. People are wondering, what about me? I'm not working in the US, I'm in EU and all that. The program is not a static thing. It's not a one-time thing, which I'm going to be explaining to you subsequently. It's not a one-time thing. But this is what you do need for this program for now as it is starting. You're authorized to work in the US, you're comfortable working with Claude, and you're willing to learn, and you're willing to relocate if the placement requires it. That means if the non-profit, you know, that you're, allocated to, maybe it's in somewhere in US, US is very large, and you do not live in that part. If you're willing to relocate, your relocation uh, money will be taken care of. So that's it. So you can see that it is aimed at people that are early in their careers, recent graduates, people switching fields, even self-taught folks, anyone who is motivated but hasn't had the, you know, ability to learn this AI very well. Anthropic has explicitly said the goal is to widen who gets access to AI skills, you know, not really to cherry pick people, but to widen the scope of people that are going to have access to AI skills. So if you've been wondering, how do I even get a foot into this AI thing? This is basically Anthropic saying, we are going to teach you, we are going to pay you, we'll put real experience into your resume in the process. So what exactly will you be doing if you're taken in this program? What does the day-to-day actually look like for you? You are going to get placed with a host nonprofit. You become their embedded AI capability. Basically, that is the person that turns Claude into real tools for that particular organization. Right now, Anthropic has lined up at least 400 host non-profit companies for this, startup event for this first year. These are a few examples. Maybe you might be familiar with some of them. Montgomery Country Food Bank. You can pause this video and just maybe take a screenshot to see them. I've listed just about six here, but as I said, they have over 400 of these non-profit companies that they have already mapped out that they are going to use as their startup. So that's exactly what this is all about. So you come in as that missing piece, you build automations, you learn how to clean up data pipelines, you learn how to build AI-assisted workflows. So you live with a full year of real applied experience, solving real world problems, not just toy projects or all these 5 seconds adverts people do with Claude. They want a situation where people actually apply Claude AI to real world problems and see how Claude AI can solve those real world problems. So why is Anthropic actually doing this? Why would an AI company spend 150 million just to hand out salaries to people? Their thought is direct. They're looking at what they call transformative AI. And they know that transformative AI is actually going to cause a real economic disruption. So they believe that companies that are building these AI softwares also have a responsibility to ensure that the benefits are actually shared, not just being used by a few group of people. So Anthropic announced Claude Corps alongside a broader policy framework on AI's impact on work. And the pitch basically is, if this program actually works, it will serve as a blueprint for something that is much bigger than the 1,000 people that they are targeting as the beginning. Because right now they are targeting 1,000 people to be spread across different non-profit organizations. So this is a kind of model for how AI labs help workers adapt during a period of massive economic change. So that's essentially why Anthropic is doing this. And in the long run, it will actually help them. When people start actually using Claude, when a lot of people become aware of how to use it, you can imagine the amount of people that will start paying to use it because they'll begin to see the benefits of it. So that is essentially where they're getting at, because I feel that this is really, really, really a wonderful idea. So let's look at the timeline and the cohorts. So here's the part that actually matters if you're watching this and you think, okay, how do I become part of this? How do I get into it? So there are three cohorts that are being planned right now. You know, First, 100 people, the applications closes at July 17th and it starts October 2026. That's the cohort one. Cohort two starts January 2027 and cohort three starts August 2027. So I don't know when you're listening to this video, you know. If you see this video immediately now, because I'm doing this video right now in July, today is July 2nd. So you can still meet up with application for July 17th. But if you get across this video later, there's still the cohort for January 2027 and for August 2027. As I said, before I end this video, I'm going to be taking you to their website where you actually read it and you follow along. So even if, you know, once you finish listening to this video, you can keep on checking their websites to know when applications will be open for the next cohort and for the third cohort, if it is something that you're really interested in. So how do we apply? Now, to be able to see how to apply, I'm now going to take you to their official Claude Corps site so you actually see it for yourself. Here you see it. This is their website here. As I said, I'm going to place the link below this video. Applications and timeline. Fellowship applications, if you click it, they are open, you know, and will close in July 17th for the first cohort of 100, which begins in October 2026. Applications are open on a rolling basis for the next two cohorts, which begin in January 2027. That means even if you miss this one that is closing on this July, you can still continue to apply for the next one that is starting January 2027, and for another one that is starting in August 2027. They have not exactly said the closing dates for the second and third one. I didn't see anything like that. But maybe if you go through it, if you see it, you can drop your comment below this video and do it. Even host organizations are also here. If you want to host, you have an NGO, an active one, from what I see here, it has to be active. You have your teams, you have your workers in your NGO. You can also apply. You can also apply for it. Claude Corps website. And you can apply from the Claude Corps website. This is their website. I'll also link it below the video. This is what their website looks like. You can scroll through it. You see a lot of information here on how you can actually apply and get to really understand how the program is, what they're actually building with this. This is a very interesting program, and if you can jump in, can be quite lucky to be chosen. You know, here is where you become a host. If you're an NGO and you're watching this program, or you've watched my videos, you can also come and apply here to become a host for this program. And Anthropic is going to foot all the bills. So that is how to apply. Just go to the website, click the link below, and then you can go ahead and apply for it. So that's essentially what this video is all about. I hope you gained value from it. If you did, subscribe so that you can be getting important news that can actually help you to grow in AI, you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.